What was it like being the son of the Episcopal priest?
Well, just like anything else, a lot of good things, a lot of things that were not so nice. I always got caught when we got into the little boyhood mischief. Everybody always saw me. They called my father, but they didn't call any of the other children's parents. So that kind of kept me straight. But I would call it a fairly normal childhood.
How old were you when you were introduced to religion?
Religion? Well, the truth of the matter is, being the son of an Episcopal priest, I guess I was introduced to religion the very first few months of my life, I guess. I was, there was no such thing as not going to church. As far back as I can remember, and I'm sure I was carried there as a baby. So I guess you might say with a high degree of accuracy that I was raised in the church. I remember learning to tie my shoes in church.
What, besides receiving phone calls when you got into mischief, what were some of the other high points of the son of the Episcopal priest?
I think your father was respected in the community. You knew that you had a standard to uphold. You knew that you couldn't just go do anything you wanted to do. You really had to think before you joined with your buddies in some of the mischievous things young boys do. And another good thing about it was there were several ladies in the church who took it upon themselves to really to give my brother and myself, I guess, nurturing that we really missed. Nothing heavy, nothing prolonged, just a pat on the back and you're doing real well and keep studying hard and here's a nickel for you, things like that. And I remember those.
What participation in church activities, what type of things did you do?
Well, I guess I had to open the door and unlock it and turn on the gas heat every time. Every Sunday morning, every time there was an evening meeting, I had to do that. And Sunday school and acolytes and such as that.
Were there any embarrassing moments that you remember, or anything in particular at church that just really stands out when you reflect on your childhood and being at church?
Well, I guess the most embarrassing moment that I can think of in church was when I was probably 7, 8, maybe 6. I was an acolyte, which in the Episcopal Church means that you have on a long red robe and a white jacket called a cotta, and we had those Eton collars and big black bows, And I think it was in the evening, at an evening service, and I think I must have gotten a little sleepy and dozed off. And I guess my father, who was preaching, said something loudly or emphasized the point, and I just jumped and woke up, of course. But I guess that was perhaps the thing I remember.
As you grew older, did you find yourself keeping your church life and your personal life and later on your public life very separate?
What time frame are you referring to?
Around when you were 20 years old, 30.
Well, when I was 20, I was in law school, and I did not have the time to devote to church as I wanted to, because I had to work and go to law school. So church got the least amount of my attention at that time. But after graduation and after starting to practice, church played a fairly important role in my life. I am a very private person, and to the extent that I can keep my private life separate from my public life, I do, but oftentimes they blend and they merge, and it's hard to tell one from the other, even for me.